Welcome back to American Ground Radio. I'm Stephen Paul with Louis R. Avalone. This is our 4th of July special, What Makes America Great?
You remember when Joe Biden, as a candidate for president, said, they're going to put you back in chains. No, that was when he was vice president. Remember when he was talking to a predominantly black audience.
I remember when he told a black radio host that if you didn't vote for him that you weren't black. I thought that was kind of racist.
So our next guest said, you know what? I am black, but I'm not in chains. You can't tell me how to vote because of the color of my skin. And see, I think our next guest represents an erosion of the idea that black Americans should be treated as one-dimensional or as a monolithic black voting bloc, because they are independent thinkers.
Right.
They have beliefs that are as diverse as our country.
Right. If we were all created equal, and it's a self-evident truth that we were, and I have independent thoughts, and I was created equal to other people. You have independent thoughts. You were created to other people. Why wouldn't you assume that those other people have independent thoughts, even if they might look different than you? We were all created equal. Why don't we all have the same ability to think for ourselves?
Well, but in all fairness, certainly the African-American community has voted Democrat 90% of the time, although during the first Trump election and certainly during the 2020 election, black votes for the Republican Donald Trump was at an all-time high as far as a percentage of their voting population.
Well, and our next guest is Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. He did speak at the Republican National Convention.
He happens to be African-American.
And there are a lot of people like Daniel that are coming out and saying, you know what, I don't think I'm a Democrat. I think I'm a Republican. And that's one of the things that does make this country such a great place, is that you have the right to your freedom of thought and your freedom of action.
Yeah, it's still a free country.
So here's Daniel Cameron. And joining us now on the phone, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Welcome to American Ground Radio's 4th of July special, What Makes America Great?
Thank you, gentlemen. It's an honor to be on with you.
So
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to
Absolutely.
you, sir. So we've been asking folks all day here on our special, what is it you think makes America great?
Well, if you go back and look at the founding of this country, I think the idea that our founders were anticipating that we would always be striving to be a more perfect union, and largely that would be built out of the idea that the people of our country make it great, is ultimately what I think makes this country great, that we're always striving to be a more perfect union. If you look at our 50 states and our territories, the way that we try to take care of each other. I know we've had some friction over these last few years, but at the end of the day, that we continue to remember that we are the keeper of our neighbors, and that we have a responsibility to be good neighbors. I think our founders knew that the genius of our democracy and the genius of our Constitution is that the laboratories of democracy would play out in all our 50 states. And I really think that's what makes us so special and unique, and what makes us so great.
Now, you are the first Republican to fill the role of Attorney General since 1948. Does it discourage you? Obviously, you love this country. Does it discourage you, though, when someone like Beyonce's mother says that they are shocked to learn that the Attorney General for Kentucky is a 34-year-old black man, a Republican?
Well, I don't give much credence to sort of, you have a lot of naysayers, and especially if you are find yourself as a African-American conservative, those things are going to happen from time to time. But I think what, the genius of, again, our founding and the genius of our country is that we welcome and we certainly embrace, and I know the GOP certainly embraces folks of all different colors and all different views in terms of just they don't necessarily care what your skin color looks like. All they care about is the values that you uphold. And so I'm honored to be a member of the GOP and Republican, and I think that's one of the things that our founders contemplated, was that this would be a large country made of folks of many different stripes and many different views, but we can all find a home in this country and in this democracy. I think the further and further we get down the road, I think you're going to find that more folks that look like me have the same values and views that I do.
Absolutely.
And are going to be more willing to speak out and articulate positions and views consistent with the Republican Party and consistent with what I think are the values that have guided this country for a very long time.
You were touching earlier on the preamble to the Constitution in order to form a more perfect union. Is there anywhere else in the world you think that strives to focus on becoming a more perfect country more than the United States does?
Well, I think this country has been doing it the most consistently and for the longest time, and I think that again is built out of those founding documents and those founding principles. Is that, look, we know that if you listen to our James Madison or any of our founders, we know that none of us are perfect. We know the Bible tells us that none of us are perfect. But the idea that we would continue to strive for the more perfect union, meaning the folks that make up this country are always striving towards the betterment of our communities, the betterment of our society, is a pretty unique and special notion. And it's something that, every day I think we should not take for granted, that we certainly live in a country that is striving for the betterment of all our people. Sometimes it takes a while, but that's okay, because we know that this is a special country, and know that there's no better place to be on the earth than here in the United States of America.
All right, you just said those magic words. This is a special country. This nation is exceptional. Do you remember when it was that you first realized there was something special, something extraordinary about this place we call the United States of America?
Well, my parents did a good job of instilling that in me at a very early age, just understanding the specialness and uniqueness of this country and how it was formed on the idea of freedom of religion and freedom of thought, and relinquishing the burdens of sort of high-handed monarchy and over oppressive government. And so the thought that those ideas are what guide this country, I mean, certainly in my mind, make it exceptional. It's up to us to sort of keep it and to continue to strive for those ideas that it was founded upon. But I'm grateful and thankful that, my parents always, they were entrepreneurs. And I know me and my wife, Mackenzie, is sort of, we think about our future together. We constantly think about, how are we going to, think about having children and that sort of thing. How are we going to impart those ideas and the future generations that come after us?
Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, thank you so much for joining us here on the 4th of July. Appreciate your time, and happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July.
All right, gentlemen. Happy 4th of July. Thank you so much.